The competition is fierce. The government wants the best people to be here in Canada. Can you beat them? Not to mention, there are backlogs and it's not that easy. Hi guys! Welcome back to our channel. And in today's video, I thought I'm going to answer a very important and pressing question for everyone who are here in Canada as temporary residents, or for all my fellow Filipinos out there who wants to come to Canada as international students or to come to Canada to work. So why am I doing this video, you may ask? Because I've seen, like nowadays, it's very common. I've seen it everywhere that especially international students, they kind of don't know what to do. They kind of like, they don't have this mindset of what am I going to do right now so that in the coming year I'm going to be able to submit my papers for permanent residency. But before we proceed with this video, let me tell you first that I am not an immigration consultant. I am not a lawyer. I am not a legal advisor. This is not a legal advice in no way, in any mean. This is not a legal advice. Absolutely. These are all just based on my observation, research, and of course, my personal experience of processing our PR, renewing our PR, and also our Canadian citizenship. So the first reason that we're going to talk about today, why it's hard to become a PR in Canada, is because there are only very limited spots that the IRCC has in mind. There are only limited spots in target for all the temporary residents to become PR. So if you think about it, the amount of temporary residents here in Canada versus the amount of IRCC's target to approve for PR is not equal. They're not equal. The ratio is not even. That means that if you are not doing the steps, the important steps that you have to take right now, like at this very moment, at this very day, at this very month, so that in a few months you will submit your documents, you'll be able to submit your documents for PR, then think about it. Think about it. The competition is fierce. The competition is high. The amount of people wanting to become residents, the amount of people lodging their documents for permanent residency is significantly higher than the available spots. Okay? So imagine the competition there. Reason number 2 is because Canada has strict immigration policies. The government wants the best people to be here in Canada for a long time. They need the people who have the skills, the education, and of course, the people who will contribute to the country's economy. They want the best people from all over the world to come to Canada. So think about that. They are strict in choosing the right person to approve as permanent resident. So if your skill, education, and experience is not that good compared to other people that are already professionals, that are already really highly skilled with their trade, can you beat them? Can you be able to let the government know, the IRCC, can you convince the IRCC that yes, take me, approve my residency because I have what it takes. These requirements, this is what they're looking for. So these are the 3 things that you will have to be in mind all this time as temporary residents, or if you are thinking of coming to Canada, you will consider these 3 important things. Reason number 3, lengthy application process. Any website, any blog, it will tell you that this certain amount of months, this certain amount of year, you will have an update, you will get your result. But in reality, there are times that these applications take years before you can even hear back from IRCC. There are cases like this. Not to mention, there are backlogs, and if there is something happening around the world, for example, the war in Ukraine, many thousands of Ukrainians were prioritized in processing, and what that means, it causes a massive backlog in the processing times. So Consider these situations. Consider this. Think about these situations before you conclude that it's easy to get a PR in Canada. And also, there are a lot of information that need to fill in accurately in your papers. Because if you make a mistake filling this out, like if you make a mistake with your work category, your skill, the numbers, the category, whatever, those information, if you make a mistake, your paper will come back. And for example, it already took months before you got your paper, and when you got your paper back, your whole application, it says,
"You made a mistake with this one. Please redo this application and send it again."
so what that means is that it's going to take another few months. Yes, that's why it's not that easy. It's not that easy. A lot of things will happen along the way. So please do not ever think that this PR application approval is very easy. The fourth reason is that there are always a change. The immigration policies are changing constantly. They will add new programs, they will modify a program, and also, did you hear about the very recent news about 700 students that are committing fraud? Not necessarily these students are committing fraud, but there happened there, like in that picture, there was a fraud happening, so they were deporting 700 students to go back home to India. So that will make an impact to their policy. That means that they will become strict. They will scrutinize your application from now on because they don't trust you anymore. So yeah, it's getting harder and harder every day, every month, every year for the temporary residents to become a PR. So these are the four major reasons why it's hard to become a PR in Canada. These four reasons will answer the question why it's hard to become a permanent resident here in Canada. But here is what you're going to do. So if you are a student right now, or if you're a worker, or if you want to come to Canada as temporary resident and you want to become a permanent resident in the future, you don't want to lose your status because the main goal, the ultimate goal is to become a PR. So this is what you're going to do. The first thing is you're going to research. Do a lot of digging. Number one, very great resource is the IRCC website itself, the Canadian government website. I cannot stress this enough that it's all there. The most important information, the most legit information is all there. And number two, please go to the right people for advice. Go to immigration consultants. Go to these regulated people, immigration consultants or regulated student advisors, because these people are the right ones. They have the right information. They probably have the first-hand information from the IRCC because obviously they went through something to give this legal advice for all the aspiring permanent residents in Canada. Number three is that if you receive an advice, for example, you are an international student or you're applying for an international student and you go to an immigration consultant and he or she will say,
"Do this, do this, do that."
please do not ignore those advices because these people will help you to get your main goal of becoming a PR. So if they say, go to this is where you're gonna apply, this is where you're gonna land, this is the best for you, because right from the get-go, while you're still in the Philippines and they're still gathering your documents for application, for processing, they already have in mind, they already know what to do, they already have in mind what is your pathway, what is this ladder that you're going to take to become a PR. This information that I'm sharing today is not meant to scare you. This is not meant to rain on your dreams. This is just to make you aware that expectation versus reality is real. Okay? Expectation versus what's really going on versus what's really the truth is totally different. They are not coinciding. These shady people that are telling you this and that
It's easy to become a PR.
no, that couldn't be further from the truth. You do your own research, you do your own digging, you go to a licensed person who's capable to give you the right advice. Okay? So I think that's all that I'm gonna share today. I hope you learned something from this video. Again, this is not a legal advice. I'm not an immigration consultant. I'm just sharing this for awareness. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again, guys, in my other future videos. Bye!